this magical world, heroes are praised. But what defines a true hero?
Nobody cares! This is where things get interesting. So sit down and enjoy the show.
Hey, but I'm sitting here trying to get into the beginning here. Hold on, I'll address this in a sec. Really? Okay. If I had known, I would have gone and got my Mando helmet behind. I didn't know we were.
Right.
Well, I'm not going to get into that. Anyway, welcome in, everybody. I'm Joey D. Welcome to the Disney Villains Club. It's Monday night. Mondays suck, but this is probably what makes things a little bit better. Obviously, I'm here with my boys. Mando Mike here just popped in, didn't tell anybody he was putting the helmet on. So, welcome in, everybody. How's everybody doing?
Doing good.
Good.
Yeah.
Doing good.
Yeah. Exciting Monday, man. Everybody sounds so jazzed up right now.
Yeah.
My team just won a trip to the Super Bowl, so I'm excited.
Dude, listen, before we get into this stuff, I said this to Gene today. It looks like finally the Jets and the Packers have decided what they want to do with Aaron Rodgers. And man, it was a whole list of stuff I asked Adam Schefter had put out on Twitter, and I sent it to Gene. I'm like, bro, finally. So that's going to be definitely a topic of conversation on the NFL show this week. And I'm sure the pop off. So
yeah, it was there today. It'll be there tomorrow. Probably all week. We'll be talking a little bit about it. So
yeah, well, you know what? I'm pissed, because my cheerleading team got disqualified, but we'll talk about that later.
Oh, here we go. Yeah, listen, we got a show for you guys today, man. There's been a whole bunch of stuff. You got fires over in Disneyland. We got people swimming in the pool in the France Pavilion. It's gonna be we're gonna get into that for sure. So
be good.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, so listen, we got obviously some goofy neighbors, LeFou's news, and reaction faction. Some goofy neighbors, as you know, we go through some either news clippings or some videos, except for stuff throughout the week, because obviously human nature, people just do stupid stuff all the time, and they tend to do it at Disney. So we're gonna point that out. And obviously, if you're gonna do this stuff, we're gonna call you out. And by the way, none of us here are above doing stupid stuff either. So
we are.
Exactly. We're not saying, yeah, exactly. See, as Larry's pointing out, and by the way, I guess it's Sith Lord Larry tonight.
That's right.
You dropping the other name? Is that what's going on?
Yeah, I'm dropping the other one, at least for this week.
Warlock Larry.
Larry was great, man.
It was. It
good. Sounded like a World of Warcraft name. It just if anyone that plays that, it really did.
Right.
I don't know.
Well, you never know. He could always make a comeback.
Well, listen. You know what it is? We should all just start changing our names every night then.
Yeah.
I don't know. And Gene, you're gonna have to put an at something. I don't know if it's your Instagram or you got to put something.
Oh yeah.
Oh wait, you guys will have ads. I didn't do that today.
Today it could have been Sleepy Gene. I'm just gonna go.
Could be. I'm tired today. I'm beat today.
What happened?
You've been working like crazy, huh?
Yeah, working a lot. Trying to get everything settled to heading back down to Florida hopefully for good next time. So yeah, just trying to put together
Mike's face. Mike's like,
ooh, some developments.
There's been some developments. So yeah,
everything's in the force for sure.
So that's why we're working a little extra, trying to make sure everything's set for the eventual move, which I thought was the real official move 2 years ago when I was there for a year. Mm-hmm. Came back and forth for a little bit after that, and now we have a goal. We have an end date in sight. So
basically, you're coming home.
Basically, I'm coming home. Yeah, that's home to me now. So not even because of Disney, I just love the area, even more than just even the fact that being that close to Disney. So I can get some use out of my annual pass.
Oh yeah. And by the way, I know we're here on the Disney Villains Club, but Mike, as always, has been putting out videos this week. You got to make sure you guys go check it out. Mike does some really good stuff. Give him a like.
That pizza
subscribe if you like what you see. Mike's worth watching. He's actually kind of relaxing to watch on the way to work in the morning. I'm sitting in traffic. I'm telling you, it's been like a ritual of mine for because he's on point when he puts them out. It's usually when I'm on my way. What'd you?
No, listen. The pizza on today's look good, man. So, but I hear what you're saying. You basically, we won't give too much of the video away. You got to go watch it. But your take on what people in other states do to make it Italian food. You're 100% right. I've noticed that too when I was down there before. So
just put garlic on it and it makes it Italian food. I don't get it.
Garlic, oregano, and Parmesan, and it's Italian food. So
even the pizza I had, the pizza was good, but it had oregano already on it, and I'm like, give me the option, you know. This ain't no gender reveal. This ain't no ingredients reveal party. I don't want oregano. So,
oh my god, you gotta love it.
Right.
All right. So what do we got going? Let's start off with some goofy neighbors. Yeah.
All right. So let me. It takes me a little to get started here, but
it's okay. Trust me.
Share this screen with you. All right. So let's talk about what everybody is talking about right now. We're gonna be able to share some.
And hey, Mikey B, thanks for coming. We appreciate
Mikey
it.
Oh yeah.
Hey, Andrew.
Take off this banner here. There we go.
Oh, here we go. All right. Anyone that hasn't seen this, man. Obviously, I remember this happened a while ago here at Disney World, and then they shut. They shut this thing down. Yeah, there's a we'll have to find it. There's a video for it.
All right, so this is essentially what happened, and this is a courtesy of TMP Vids, as you can see there. It was a video submitted by, at the top there, it says Kyler on TikTok. But yeah, I'm just gonna go ahead and play it.
There's some breaking Disney news. Last night on April 22nd, the Maleficent Dragon animatronic in Fantasmic at Disneyland in California caught fire and burst into flames. As soon as Mickey defeated Maleficent, the fire began at the animatronic's head, and it wasn't long before it spread. Just note that this music you hear was not added. Once Disney stopped the show, they turned on the area music again for New Orleans Square.
Damn.
Dude, that is.
I mean,
yeah.
That is a hot
wait.
Yeah.
That second
now,
explosion.
A cast member did try to extinguish the fire, but it was just out of control. It kept getting more and more intense very quickly, and before we knew it, the animatronic was burnt to a crisp. It's devastating to see this. Luckily, no one was hurt, and all the cast members were safely evacuated off Tom Sawyer Island. There's likely damage to the Fantasmic stage as well, so it might be some time before the Nighttime Spectacular returns to Disneyland.
All right,
well, let me tell you something real quick. This thing, I just want to point out, this thing's fully involved, and you got a cast member out there with a squirt gun. I'm like, dude, just step back, bro.
Right.
Like, just step back. Holy God. Like, there was no way that guy was putting that thing out with
no way.
I've seen more aggression from my exterminator, dude.
Do we know what caused it though? I mean, did they figure out what caused it yet?
Well, it shoots fire, you know.
Like what caused it to do this?
Yeah, I don't know. Man, it's crazy because when this happened at Disney World, and that one I think happened in the daytime. That
was pre-COVID, right?
Yeah, it was the same animatronic. So they got to go back and do a redesign on that thing because you're talking about not just that now. Now look at that thing. It is now catching on to everything else. Mm-hmm. Thank God it didn't, burn down a whole bunch of other stuff. So it's that's bad, man. I mean, it's just crazy. Really Thank God nobody got hurt, but yeah, I'm surprised they don't have. I guess I don't know. I guess they just don't have an emergency response team that could get there that quick.
They do.
Mickey have to though.
Did you say Mickey? The cast member with the water fountain hose. Yeah.
But, I mean, I would think they do have to have something, right? Like I don't.
Well, I'm sure. Clearly they couldn't get there quick. That quick. I mean, there's no way. But my God, look at that. I mean, it just kept going. I'm trying to figure out what the explosion was.
That second explosion. I mean, something popped, obviously, but the thing that who I feel really bad for. I mean, if you're a spectator, if you're someone who goes to Disneyland often, watches the show, love the show, yeah, I feel bad for you not being able to see the show. But more so, I feel bad for the people behind this who constructed this thing. It's like watching your piece of art go up in flames, literally, and you can't do anything about it. And there's your cast member out there with the little squirt gun. Oop, I get it.
Yep.
Yeah, look at him.
By the way, shout out to TPM Vids because they make their YouTube channel is outstanding. Love it.
Yes.
Been watching that since Aiden was young and stuff.
They're really
dude. Yeah, that was crazy. But again, the good thing is that nobody got hurt because man, it could have been bad.
Now, Chrissy points something out to me. She goes, she was like, "This is what I'm talking about," and I was like, "What are you talking about, babe?" And she's like, "Well, they've neglected so much of their upkeep that this is what happens."
Maybe
that she could be right.
And have we seen that in the park? I mean, during the Shapek era, I mean, more so coming over, no matter what, since Shapek took over, there has been a lot of rides breaking down or refurbishments going on. I mean, could this just be just another casualty of neglect?
I think
possibly.
it's got to be right. There's no reason for it to. This is it does the same thing every night. This time it goes on fire, so it has to be something that built up over time. But I don't know. I wouldn't blame all that on like with the other stuff going down at times. I feel like the rides that we have are so much. I mean, me and Joey talk about this all the time. The rides they have nowadays are so complicated that it makes sense that they would break down. That it has nothing. I don't think it has to do with neglect. I just think that the ride systems that they use right now are so state of the art and so new that it's going to happen. You look at like Rise of Resistance and those types of rides where there's so many moving
Which
parts.
still breaks down all the time.
But that's what we're saying. Because of that,
systems. I mean,
it's bound to happen.
So does the maintenance on those rides take away from the maintenance of the older attractions and rides?
I very well could.
Maybe, but look, for Rise, as everybody knows, if you go on Rise, there's certain features that are shut off and they just leave them off.
Yeah,
so if you go to the section where you have the big guns, they're supposed to be going back and forth, and they just leave them off because they don't want to keep fixing them. So it's kind of unfortunate that you have these features that they just leave off because they don't want to have to keep fixing it. And it still breaks down anyway. But yeah, and also I seem to remember hearing something about maintenance costs being cut back on to where they weren't checking them as often. I don't know if that's true. I remember reading that somewhere. I just don't know if I couldn't fact check it. I don't know if that's real. If anybody knows if that's the case, mention it in the comments or something, because I seem to remember reading something about that. So I don't know the validity was. Right.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, it's costly, and I know that they used to be very stringent on ride inspections every morning and all this other stuff.
Right.
And a lot of times, things be working, but there's times now where you'll go and 3-4 things will be knocked out, and you feel bad for the families. Obviously, we go a lot, all of us do, but you feel bad for the families that come once every 5-6 years, and you got people mover down, which, by the way, that was going through a thing last summer.
Oh yeah,
it was like you were getting stuck automatically. You got people mover down, you got Space Mountain down. Let's say you got
overrated
Thunder, maybe, but Thunder Mountain down, and also let's say let's throw in I don't know what else, Dwarf Mine Train. So now you got 4 rides that are knocked out of big I guess e-ticket
or a 4-hour wait.
Exactly, and then because then it stinks because you'll get stuck in line, then they'll be like, oh, it's broken down, everybody get out of line. And as soon as you get out of line, all of a sudden it opens and everybody rushes back in again. Now you're at the back again. So it's unfortunate. Yeah, I don't know. It's kind of hard to see, but I tell you what, Gene, when it comes to this is just a animatronic dragon that breathes some fire, that they do the same thing every day. So I'm kind of surprised that they don't have maybe fire retardant material that it uses, or I don't know. I don't even I don't know.
Why does everything burn on the plane besides a little black box? Just make the whole thing out of the same material as the black box. I get it.
Just fly back a black box with wings.
Yeah.
Why don't we just do that? It won't be very efficient, but it'll survive the crash, right? Just put all the people in the black box, and then when it crashes, you just open the black box and everybody gets out, and everybody's good.
There you go.
Banged up, but we're good after that.
Easy.
Yeah.
All right, but let's move on.
We're solving world problems here, guys. I'm just saying,
right.
Worldwide problems we're solving.
Yeah.
Rest in peace to the Phantasmic Dragon. Literally rest in pieces.
Yeah.
But this is also maybe a good time to kind of revamp a show. I don't know if they would bring back Phantasmic because I feel like this is a big loss. I don't know if they've got like a backup dragon.
They do. Well, they don't have a backup dragon, but they have the projections, like the water projection. They can do.
So the question is, what about the damage to the rest of it and how bad that is?
Well, that's true. Well, yeah. I think actually Andrea mentioned they have show times for Friday.
Okay,
already.
So
they were there like the next morning.
We're gonna give everybody bags of marshmallows, sticks. You guys can go ahead and roast them while you're waiting. Just saying.
Right. Good times. But speaking of not so good times, segue into our next story. Well, I mean, it was good times for maybe one person, but this one is pretty serious. So this is brought to you by WDWNT, or Walt Disney World News Today, which is a pretty popular news site here. And there is your headline: Walt Disney World cast member arrested for recording upskirt videos of guests. What?
Wow. I didn't even hear about this one.
Wow.
This was disgusting. I sent this out in the group. Thanks for reading, Gene. I appreciate that.
I missed that one, I guess.
You know what? I mean, listen, this is obviously more shocking because we're not expecting this from cast members, but we do have to remember cast members are human, and unfortunately humans are extremely fallible. I mean, just extremely. So unless they change the robots, you're going to have some of this disgusting behavior here and there. And it's not just at the parks. It's just unfortunate. But this is kind of crazy. And what I was reading was apparently this is not his first go around with this.
Not the first time. He's been doing this for the past 6 years.
How do they know it's been 6 years though?
I mean, I'm sure they seized whatever they could for evidence and stuff, and maybe sort of like a timestamp of some sort. But the guy seemed pretty honest, because when the law enforcement asked him, why do you do this? His response was, oh, here it is. For the past 6 years, according to the Orange County Sheriff's arrest, Diaz admitted recording footage of, strangers. But I even highlighted it. Diaz takes the videos. Hold on, this is stupid. Diaz takes the videos because it's hard to find them online.
Oh, well, I guess that makes sense.
What? I mean, listen, if it's hard to find, if he's having a hard time finding prawn online, then clearly it's just better to take upskirt videos of.
Hey, listen, sometimes if you can't find a good pizza place in your new neighborhood, you make your own pizza. You know what I mean?
I can't.
Dude.
I can't.
Oh wow!
Clearly he needed more videos for his big bank. So I'm just
right.
So,
I can't. I got to turn this story off. I can't take that. That's just. He doesn't deserve my attention.
Vega.
Congratulations, you played yourself.
Thank you, David.
There you go.
It's disgusting. It's actually infuriating because we hear about this stuff and obviously this is a sore subject when it comes to the pedophile stings that's done in Florida, and it seems to be they always rope in at least an employer to when they get other people as well, and it's like it's just disheartening because obviously you're talking about a park that's basically built on kids. I mean, it's built for kids, and it's kind of that's the whole thing.
Well, was he doing this with children, or was it?
No, this was just
it's for him.
As far as I know, it was just
no, not for children. I'm saying, was he doing this? Like, was he videotaping children?
No. My understanding is filming women.
Okay,
women, yeah.
I mean, it doesn't make it any better.
No, listen, right.
It makes it a little better, but
I know what you're saying, Gene. I'm just.
No, it doesn't. But we all have significant others in this room, and if we had this guy in a room with that type of video of our significant others, I mean,
oh no, I mean, if he wouldn't be, he wouldn't be able to eat solid foods anymore. If I had a hold, I can tell you that right now. But
I would say a lot of stone cold phrases to him right before I walk and drive. So.
You got any right now?
Yeah.
Put you on the spot. Sorry, Mike.
I don't have the beep button, so price check on a jacket. That's my favorite one. Price check on a jack. That was when he was fighting Booker T in the supermarket and all that. But anyway, so let's move on to the next. Like I said, I got to get that off my screen. So this is also a really big one here. All right, so let me go ahead and share my screen because this is actually kind of like a two-part story kind of thing. It just goes a little bit deeper. Let me go ahead and bring that into the studio. Yeah.
This has got this is a bigger story.
Now this is the definite. This is a good story to do. Like the other two stories were a little disheartening. We got giant, dragons on fire. Some idiot who's doing his best PB Herman impersonation. But this one is just this. I mean, this is fun but stupid. It almost takes me back to the Stupid Does days.
That's what it is, baby. This is what I'm looking at. Just play the video first, and then we'll discuss.
This is in France Epcot, everybody. Take it back, bro. 2 hops this time. Cha-cha, real smooth. Yeah, I'm gonna just.
Now, first of all, thank you to Magic by Shayna. That's what Shayna.
Yeah,
I think that's what it says. Yeah,
Magic by Shayna. Yes, Magic by Shayna.
For the TikTok. Every time I think I haven't seen anybody, someone could do anything more stupid, there's always somebody to top it. Now, right now,
usually it's Gene.
Right. More times than not. Yeah. But I own it though. Like I do it on purpose. You know
agree. I think we all could agree with that. Right. Now, here's the thing with this. Normally you would think this is at Epcot. It's broad daylight. Obviously, all this whole group is together in the purple shirts. Yeah. So we're thinking, all right, it's got to be just a group of adults that are drunk, just being stupid at Epcot.
I got my 20 drinking around the world shirt.
But as we found out there was more to the story. Apparently, they were there for a cheerleading competition. These are the parents of the teens that are in the cheerleading competition, which is really worse because parents are supposed to set the examples. This is just idiotic by any means. And it ended up getting the teens kicked out of the competition. on their behalf. And then the teens, my understanding, were getting a lot of hatred and bullying online because the internet's toxic, and that's kind of the nature of the beast because people have reach with them because they're on social media where the parents aren't. That's my guess.
Right.
Yeah, it's just you feel bad for the teens because you would think they would be the ones being stupid, but no, it's got to be the adults.
Right.
This type of behavior, and we've talked about this, it's every week for us. We pretty much have endless amounts of content when it comes to this stuff. It's just every week. Every week, it's true. Every week, it's the same thing.
We look for videos, and somehow somebody never disappoints us.
It never happens. And again, it's like it just this behavior continues. So again, and we talked about this before. Hey, is it because there's social media and everybody's got cameras on phones, and that's why we're seeing it more now, or is it just people are more brazen now and just everybody wants clicks and attention and all that other crap? Might be a little bit of both, in my opinion. Dean?
I'm just gonna say, I think the craziest part of the story is that the most weirdest part of the story is that they're Canadian. Like it's kind of Canadian. Like this seems like
that's the weirdest part.
Like to me, it is like this sounds like somebody from like West Virginia would do something like this. Like if you would ask me where they're from, I'm like West Virginia, maybe. It's about as redneck as you can get. It's about as white trash as you can get to take a dip in one of the fountains in France. I just would never have guessed Canada. So excuse, and I apologize to West Virginia, but I mean, stereotypes.
I thought you were gonna say this is what I expect from Canadians or something.
No, I don't expect it from Canadians. They're usually such docile creatures.
Hey guys,
docile.
Yeah, they're like, I don't know, what are they like? Humpback whales?
I hate to interrupt, but what really had happened was Chrissy messaged me on Facebook from the other room a cat video, which means she's not watching our show. So excuse me.
Oh boy.
I gotta be honest with you. I'm watching the same video. All right, I'm watching the same video right now.
But wait, I thought aren't cat videos the most watched videos on the internet? I mean,
they gotta be.
I'm watching the show.
Jesus. I just yeah.
This is the way.
I'm sure Sammy's watching. I mean, I know she popped in here earlier. She's probably watching videos on golden retrievers. That's pretty much what she watches 90% of the time.
I watch videos on pet raccoons. I need to have a pet raccoon. That's my thing is raccoons.
Larry, you have a specific video you like to watch?
Cat videos. I got two cats. I don't watch cats.
Well, that is true.
Well, Chrissy just sent me one, so I'll send it to you. I'll forward it to
you.
you.
There
you go. Dude, did you put her in her place, Mike? Is she straightened out now?
This is the way.
This is the way. Okay.
Which brings us to the segue thing. LeFou's news. Hello.
So you should have just kept your helmet on.
Yeah.
I could have introduced you. Man, look at him. Look at All right. Anybody that's been watching,
I tell you, it's creepy.
It is a little creepy, Mike. You're freaking me out here, especially with the shaved beard and everything. You're clean cut now.
Dude, please don't. Let's not.
A little weird.
I hate this. I hate this.
What do you call it? So obviously, we're talking about the whole season of Mandalorian, which just finished.
Season 3.
Hopefully, yeah, season 3. If anybody hasn't watched it, well, you should have watched it already. Sorry, turn this off.
Yeah, right. Come on now.
Yeah, I know. I'm just kidding. Yeah, so we're gonna discuss, what the season means, and even the possibility of season 4 and what it could be, and all that other stuff. Who wants to start?
I mean, I got nothing but bad things to say, so I mean, I'm gonna go first.
So
I
then
thought the season
start.
I thought it was a battle getting through the season for me. It was boring. I thought it started off so slow. It didn't start off slow for you guys, honestly.
No.
It
was perfect.
Oh,
I think it lulled a little in the middle. It was almost like they had some filler stuff. But the beginning, it started out somewhat, but there were still battles and stuff like that.
I wasn't into this season. I got it. Can I be honest? I'm gonna.
No, lie to us.
Lie to us, please. Go ahead.
This take is gonna be a little in fuego. It's gonna be a little in fuego.
I don't think you put the N there.
See, look, even Sammy.
But no, here's the thing, Sammy.
Look.
See, that's what I'm saying. Andrea agrees. I have a really bad feeling about this, as Han Solo would say, that this could be possibly the beginning of the end of Star Wars being so instrumental in Disney's Disney
grand
Plus
scheme of things.
Grand scheme of things. I thought what they did with Obi-Wan wasn't as good as I watched it a second time and I wasn't as upset with it the second time around. I actually was like, okay, but maybe it's not as bad as I thought originally the first time I watched it, but it still wasn't as good as I thought it should have been. Season 3 to me was a letdown. Now I mean, I don't want to say really what, but now
no. We're telling people that we're discussing this. So
all right,
if you want to hear it,
otherwise pause it and come back. But now Grogu is a Mandalorian. I mean, it's like, come on, like I just can't.
What?
And I feel like this is the beginning of the end of Star Wars, and I really hope that when they're talking about some of these movies, and I'm excited to see some of these movies, with 25,000 years in the past, how Jedi's first start in the first place to me sounds really interesting. I'm hoping that those things can save it, but I'll tell you what, the Disney Plus version of Star Wars has been a real letdown. Andor was pretty good, but guess what? Andor was nothing like any of the other shows. It was so different. It could have.
Oh, who made this comment? Oh, stop it! Oh, stop it with this Jack Black. Get him off.
I feel like Andrew is trolling us right now. That's kind of where I'm going with it.
The best thing Jack Black ever did was Bowser.
It was Peaches.
Just letting you know.
Peaches. Yeah.
But my thing is this, and that's part of what I'm talking about. Lame cameos. And again, I love Jack Black, but it was almost like you don't need to do these lame cameos. Give me like a real good cameo, or give me someone that means something to the series. Yeah, okay, but give me something that means something for the series going forward. I love when Amy Sedaris is on the show. I think she's a great. Well, it's not a cameo anymore.
That's not a cameo.
Now it's recurring. It started off as a cameo when they first brought her on, though. Now she's becoming recurring. But it to me, it's getting silly, and yeah, I'm a little offended that they send me this stuff on Disney Plus and expect me to just like it. And you know what? For anyone out there that says I'm a real fan, I'm really offended. And people, and I remember when I killed Obi-Wan, I had people hit me up saying, "Oh, I'm not a real fan." I don't have to like your BS and just to be a fan. If I think it makes me more of a fan.
It doesn't
matter. I can pull them out on their BS. Like, don't tell me I'm not a real fan. I have higher standards of it than you maybe. Not you guys. I'm saying in general, other people. I have higher standards for it maybe, and that's what it is.
What do you mean, you people?
Frankie.
I'm talking about Jonah Hill.
There you go.
Great movie, by the way.
Okay, so listen. Let's go to the Sith Lord. I want to hear his thoughts.
No, I think the series is excellent. I love it. I think there's so much anticipation for these series, these shows that come out every single week, that everybody just wants to see nonstop action like the whole time. And unfortunately, you just can't do that. I mean, there's so much backstory and character development going on. I think that's gonna. It may be kind of slow in the moment, but it's going to pay off towards the end. It's just going to get better and better and better as you get to know these characters more. You invest in them more, and then you're going to be like, "Hey, I remember when I watched that, when that was just a thing, and now it's meaningful." And I think it's exciting, and I can't wait. It is the saving grace of Disney Plus. If the Star Wars stuff was on Disney Plus, I probably wouldn't have it. But I get from Star Wars series to Star Wars series, for Obi-Wan, Andor, Mando, Boba Fett.
I got
Ahsoka. Ahsoka looks awesome.
Ahsoka looks really good.
That's going to be amazing. I mean, I think it's the saving grace of Disney right now.
I kind of agree and don't agree with you, Larry. Like my thing is Andor, but Andor was a lot of character development, a lot of dialogue. Sure. There was times where I think, what I'm trying to say is I like that stuff. It's not like I just looked at it like Mandalorian. I just didn't do it for me because it was slow at times because of that. Because Andor was very much like that. Andor had a lot of character development, a lot of characters we never knew before, we haven't met before.
Right.
So, and I loved Andor. I thought that was the best series maybe they've had since like the first season of Mandalorian. So trust me, that's not what it was that did it for me. I just again the Jack Black cameo. I feel like the storyline's getting silly. Like it's
that
just
episode
losing
was
me a little
pretty
bit.
wonky to me.
Yeah,
it was in the middle. It was almost like filler.
It was like a sellout episode. It was a sellout episode. Oh, come look at Jack Black in one of our episodes. It was a sellout.
All right, Mike.
Dude, this is what happened. Okay, let me explain to you how the film industry worked here.
Oh, here we go.
So
go ahead,
in the
Spielberg.
beginning, they gave you what you wanted. They gave the audiences what the mass audience wants. They want Grogu. They want baby Grogu. He was all about it in the first episode, second episode. Me and Chris were like, "Oh, it's so cute." We were like dying over this thing. Like, yeah, we get it, okay. And then it took a turn where they kind of took Grogu out of the situation and focused a little bit on Mando and some of the other side stories. So what they're doing is they're setting up for the unsuccess of Star Wars. Now you have possible other stories branching off with Clone Wars, other characters coming to the mix. So they're feeding you these little Easter eggs of possibly what could be and get you talking on the mass medias, like we're commenting on each other, like, oh, what does this mean? Because now everyone's on a Reddit thread debating on what's going to happen and what it really means. So they did their job perfectly. The way the series end, it could wrap right there and be done. Or it could continue. So I think this season 3 was beautifully done. It hit everything I needed to hit. It focused a little bit more on the Mandalorian and then the Mandalorian origins without doing a whole origin story. Now the next season apparently is already written. Jon Favreau has stated that there are scripts written for season 4. However, where does it go from here? Does it still follow the story of Din Djarin and now Din Grogu? Or do you let that be? And we do know that there's another Star Wars movie coming. I believe Jon Favreau said he is going to end that story with a movie. And do we now switch over to Boca? And I never remember her name. I think Boca Raton. Bo-Katan, yeah. Boca Raton. I'll say Boca Raton. Yeah. I'm in Florida now. But do they follow her story too? Because she is badass too. Nonetheless, what a great addition. What a great actress. What a great story to it all. The Sasha Banks cameo, which is now reoccurring. I don't understand it, but whatever. She doesn't say anything. Good acting. A lot of the cameos, again, it pulls a little bit more on the commercial strings of Mandalorian. Christopher Lloyd's in it. Great. Jack Black's in it. What's the singer's name that was in it?
Yeah.
The one who was Jack Black's Lizzo. Right. So it's hitting again those mass medias because you're going to see those images online. You're going to love it. Oh, I get to comment on all this stuff. Lizzo's great, blah, blah, blah. Women empowerment. Yes, great. Jack Black. Oh my God, it's so nice to see him in the Star Wars universe, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, great. No. Jack Black needs to go and he needs to leave everything. The only thing he's ever done that I can ever appreciate is School of Rock, which he does plan on doing a 20-year reunion, which is pretty cool. And of course, Bowser now is amazing. So in Super Mario movie.
Yeah. But I totally agree with you, Mike. It was distracting. That whole episode was just a distraction for me. And it's like they weren't even like good characters. It was just like Jack Black playing this and like in a stupid little cameo. Distracting. Yeah.
Wait, I gotta correct you on something, Mike. You left out High Fidelity. That was a great Jack Black role, High Fidelity, with John Cusack.
Come on, go away.
Come on, that was a good role.
You might as well just said Orange County was a good role of his.
Orange County sucks.
Listen, by the way, in regards to that episode, it was weird filler. Oh, we have rogue robots that we need you to go. It was just weird. And I don't care about. I know what Mike's saying. I don't care about seeing Jack Black in there. I don't care about seeing Lizzo. They don't belong in there. Whatever. I don't care about that. Season as a whole, though, I was good with. I did feel in the middle there was some filler regarding like that episode, but I did like that they did the whole Mandalorian backstory. You got both of them that are following the Mandalore, the other ones that don't wear the helmets. It was interesting though, because I was starting to wonder, are they going to, were they literally putting Bo-Katan as like the lead, because they kind of started pushing Din Djarin to the side and she was taking over. And I'm like, what's going on there? Like, is she taking over the lead on that? I did notice that obviously all the scripts were written by Jon Favreau, but it was directed by Carl Weathers. In fact, he directed the whole season, which I noticed. Awesome. And that's not been the case in the other ones. Remember, Jon Favreau still wrote it, so I don't think it's a big deal. But I do like him in the actual series itself. Yeah. He's fine. He's it's okay. But I love the battle with the pirates. I love the huge battle.
Great.
Yeah, the crazy battle that they got with the Dark Troopers, which are all Beskar and all that stuff, and the clones, and start bringing that kind of stuff back. And obviously, showing some of the generals getting together, trying to kind of form back again. Obviously, is prelude to First Order and all that other stuff, which hasn't happened yet. It would be interesting to see what they're going to do next season. And I agree with you, Mike. I told Sammy the same thing. I said, man, they kind of tied it up where they could end it if they wanted to, it's weird because they didn't explore, because I kind of wanted to know what was going on with, and I don't remember the girl's name. She was like the mole. No, she was the mole for
Moff Gideon's mole.
Yes.
Oh, right. Yes.
They did that, and
that was a huge storyline, dude.
And they did. They never did anything with it. They never went anywhere. Right. They didn't.
I'm sure they'll bring that back.
Yeah, they will. They've got to.
Chrissy's in the other room right now saying, "I said that. I said that."
It was.
When I'm done with the show, you're like, I see what Joey said. I'm like, yeah.
But this one had a lot of action, which I really liked. So it was nice to see them. it likes to see them all pulling that out. Obviously, the immense use of the jetpacks and all that other stuff.
And relevant action. Yeah.
Very relevant action. And
good
even Grogu coming out of it, running around his little son, jumping over.
Doing the slides.
even the robot. Him in the robot was great. It definitely made him able to maneuver a little bit easier to, this way they didn't have to stop pointing the camera down at him, just showing Mando's feet. So
exactly. It's interesting because I know they said that he's kind of like he's an apprentice now and all that stuff. They're still not putting armor on him and stuff. I know they put that little piece on him on a couple shows back, but the reality is he going to be another Yoda? Probably. I mean, he already is using the Force and all that stuff.
And then Gene, you said you had a problem with him being possibly another Mandalorian. How did friggin' Yoda become a Jedi? I mean, if we fast, rewound to that moment, you'd probably say like, oh, I can't see Yoda as a Jedi. Oh, he's a Jedi.
Maybe
now.
Yoda's
now
were
this
always,
one.
maybe all Yodas were all Jedis. Maybe they were all Jedis.
Well, clearly,
who knew that they were Yodas?
We're gonna wait. Well, that's what I'm saying. We're gonna find out more about this because there's only that whole race. We only know of 2 characters in that whole race. Maybe what we're going to see this new prequel, 25,000 years before the start of the Force, might be where we find out maybe whatever beings these are, these Yodas, whatever they really are. Maybe that's where we find out. Maybe they have something to do with the beginning of the Force.
Right.
So they might already be born. That might be something that they're actually born with, and that they've actually taught to other people that have like the capabilities of it. So we don't even know where the storyline goes, and that, like I said, that I'm interested in seeing. And I'm hoping they do it right. And maybe I put too much pressure on the Mandalorian because I expected it to be better. Maybe it could really be that. It could be one of those things where maybe I watch it again 3 months from now and say, okay, you know what? I actually feel like I like it a little bit more. Like I've done that before. I'll admit it. So it could be me just being let down because I expected better of it. Again, the cheesy cameos. It should be better than that.
I will say this. Maybe I don't know if you guys didn't notice this. I kind of was fully expecting since Bo-Katan had gone around and they were kind of gathering everybody. I was expecting Boba to show up at that final fight scene and maybe make an appearance because all the other Mandalorian are there and he's not. Like, where's he at?
Yeah.
It was just an it was like a weird miss.
It's a theory.
He was a missing character that I was like, man, that's kind of interesting. They didn't use him or bring him in because he was, you know what I'm saying? Especially after Mandalorian was a huge, Din Djarin was a huge part of his show. It became,
So
it's interesting
because they needed him.
Yes. So it would make sense if they had brought him in. I think everybody would have kind of went wild with that.
So I actually have a theory about where it's all going to go. And I also want to hear some of your ideas around Moff Gideon. But before we get into that, I think we have some people, right? We have some people we have to hear from.
Yes, we do.
Yeah.
Segue.
And before I get those theories from you and some of your thoughts, Gene, go ahead, baby.
Okay.
You look into book a fairy tale vacation, make sure you reach out to our boy Neil Shukart at his email is neil@yourfairytalevacation.com. You can find him on Instagram, Disney Universal Travel Planner, or you can even reach him on his cell phone, 713-817-5934. 100% free travel planning, 100% free quotes. He specializes in Disney World, Disneyland, Aulani, Universal Orlando, Universal Hollywood, and even those big cruise ships, Disney Cruise Line, Royal Caribbean, Holland America, Norwegian Cruise Line, Princess Cruise Line. So if you're looking to book a vacation, make sure you talk to our boy Neil at your fairy tale vacation.
Or just, just hire Gene at WNBC.
A little Howard Stern.
Yeah,
WNBC.
I like it.
It's so weird. I saw a video clip of that scene like literally today. So it's kind of spooky that you just said it.
Maybe it was just right.
WNBC.
It was a dream that you had.
I swear to God, I saw a video. I was watching clips and and that movie, that clip of that movie came on. What's the name of the movie? The Howard Stern movie.
Private Parts.
Private Parts. And that scene came up.
Or cast member gets arrested for obscure videos. Gotcha.
That's so bad.
All right, but actually, you know what? This kind of plays into it. So I'm just gonna roll this one right at. Oh wait, hold up. Planning a trip to reach out. You know what, Mikey?
Thank you, Mikey.
The better one than Gene
Thanks,
did
Mike.
because Gene sounded like a service announcement. But anyway, I'm going to let this one rock just because it fits into what we're talking about.
Happiness is addictive. Passionate about spreading laughter and creating smiles worldwide. Happiness is addictive brings our global community together through humor, optimism, cheer, hopefulness, and merriment. Happiness is addictive. Happiness is addictive.
I actually just got my first tank top from them, so I'm excited to rock that and
You got what?
send them my content. A first tank top. I got a Darth Vader tank top.
Nice.
Tank
Nice.
top.
I'm real particular with my tank tops. They got to fit a certain way.
Dude, I know.
Like
I
the
know.
straps
That-
can't be too wide. Like it bothers me. It's
There's
almost
a
having
reason
like,
why I shave my arms. I shave my chest now because I get a tank top. You know, the way where it falls. You know, I can't have the hair just popping out like this.
well, yeah, it looks like feta cheese or the lettuce and stuff like that.
I had to
Yeah,
do this,
I don't even like
you know?
the some guys are good with it. I don't like my neckline stretched out. It drives me crazy on shirts.
Oh,
It's
nuts.
good.
That's the worst.
I remember there was one show we were messing with them. I think it was like, whoop.
No, what happened?
Remember there was one show we were messing with you. I think you had like one of your shirts. The neck was really pretty large. We're like, dude,
It was just like it was not a V anymore. It was a U.
exactly.
We were on audio though. We were on audio back then. I wasn't
We
worried.
were.
I wasn't dressed up for Joey D.
We did some really funny stuff when we had the audio. You just couldn't see a lot of it.
Well, I do want to hear your thoughts on Moff Gideon as a villain, Giancarlo Esposito, #1 villain since Breaking Bad. I mean, he is a master of villains, but how do you guys feel about the character itself and Giancarlo Esposito playing Moff Gideon?
Well, for me, when Moff Gideon came out, I was kind of surprised. I was like, I don't know what to expect, but that's not what I expected. I mean, I think he plays the character great now, but I think it was just a surprise, just like, oh, okay, cool.
Now, when you say surprise, do you mean like a surprise that he came back?
No,
Or
just in
original?
general, just the original, just seeing him play that character. The first time we saw Moff Gideon and having him play it, I think that was just a surprise. I mean, but I like it. I think he does a great job. But he's obviously still alive too. I mean, at the end of the season 3, I mean, he's in the Beskar armor, right? So he's fine. He's good.
He's gonna do like that
he's
shredder claw up out of after taking the ooze, like.
Yeah, right.
That flame
He's
was
still
going
around.
around pretty wild there for a while. I liked him a lot. I didn't, for some reason, it bothered me the way he said Beskar. I didn't like the way he pronounced it. His enunciation of Beskar was just too, I don't know. It just didn't seem correct. Otherwise, I liked him. And I tell you, I was always wondering, I'm like, well, since he made so many clones, was he just the clone that got destroyed anyway? And he's really, it would seem like that would be the case. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And then he talked about being able to inject almost the force into some of those guys. And I'm like, was that a thing in any of the episodes ever? Is that even possible? Obviously, none is possible.
Well, that's kind of what they wanted. That's kind of what they were after Grogu for at the very beginning,
right?
Because they wanted to somehow do some cloning because was his use of the Force and stuff. So.
Absolutely. Otherwise, he made a good bad guy.
Yeah.
I just didn't like his enunciation of Beskar.
I think Giancarlo Esposito is one of the best parts of the show in general. I think it's one of the best actors they have on the show, if not the best actor they have on the show. I actually almost find myself rooting for him. I know it's crazy. I don't want to see him,
baby.
Yeah.
I don't want to see him go. I want to see him be someone that you hope that he gets foiled, but he somehow always makes his way back because he's a great bad guy. Ever since, again, who said it before about when he played Gus Fring, Breaking Bad. I mean, he is a fantastic, and he's sadistic too because he acts so calm, but yet such evil and chaos behind everything he says. Even though he's completely calm, completely just monotone, but there's this evilness to him. Even he can sell the evilness without even being crazy. He can be so monotone. No, it's there.
Now here's the thing: it's crazy that I agree with you. But
I know, right? It's one of the few times we do.
It's so hard to say sometimes. Even Sammy had trouble typing it before. But That's credit to John Esposito. But Moff Gideon
100%.
himself, the character, I don't think he's sadistic enough. I don't hate this guy. I love this guy. And in loving this guy, I'm not loving him like I normally love villains. Therefore, I hate this guy. So I hate to love him. You know what I'm saying? Like,
did you feel he was more villainous in last season?
Yeah. He had a bigger presence, but I just feel like there wasn't any sadistic tones. I want to see Darth Vader in Rogue One. I want to see him walking down the hallway. You know what I'm saying? Like just chopping dudes' heads off, flying them across the room. Now I know he doesn't have the Force,
right?
But I'm sure they can figure in some kind of way where he's so sadistic, pull something so maniacal. Besides having this army of jetpack troopers, like just. Cool, great. A bunch of Rocketeers flying around to fight your battles for you, and now you have these generals. It doesn't make you any more sadistic because your army's bigger. It's the right. Captain.
But he's got to do it in He's got to do it with that calming way that he does it, because I think that makes it.
That's the actor.
Almost. But I'm saying, but the role also has to account for that, right? Like the role, I think that's part of what makes that role so cool.
No, this is the writer. This is on Jon Favreau, and I love everything Jon Favreau does. But
because he's a good actor, so he's going to go by what the script is, and he's going to make it as good as he can.
But that's what I'm agreeing with that part, and that's the part that I like. I like that it's not over the top. Yes. He's still like has every evil intention. Gus Fring has every. Gus Fring was so much like he was so calculated and to the point that he didn't have to act crazy. He was just matter of factly like, this is it. This is what's happening, and things would happen. I find that scarier than the guy that acts nuts and has weird things happen. Like, I rather, like, to me, it's more creepy that this guy is so, like, very, just almost calming, but evil at the same time.
He's very calculating.
Very calculated.
Yeah, I know exactly.
But not calculated enough.
Hang on. I want to see something that was, and maybe, I don't know, I found it a bit odd that, the Darksaber is this worshipped thing that they have, and it got destroyed so easily. It was just weird to me. Everybody's trying to get a hold of this Darksaber, and he just crushes your hand, and then that's it. I'm like, that's it?
Dude.
It was just to do about nothing.
It was kind of like, it was,
took away everything it meant.
They literally bequeath it to her, to Bo-Katan, so she can lead the Mandalorian army, and then they just break it out of her hand. It was just kind of like anticlimactic. I don't know.
It was.
Right?
Yeah, I didn't know what to think. I was like, what just happened? Like, and it's all, I'm
like, wait, that's not the real one. They cloned it. And that's a fake.
Right, that whole build up for it, and it was all
I know.
And
then all of a sudden,
right? It was a little strange.
I think that kind of leaves that whole like where does the series go now? Because so the Darksaber is gone. I mean, technically, you can't be the leader of Mandalore without the Darksaber.
Well, I guess
so. Here's I did say, like, before the break we took, I did have a theory. So that, like I said, Jon Favreau does have these scripts written already for season 4. But it's not slated to come out until 2025, possibly.
I can't stand these 2 years.
So now here's what I think is going to happen. In this time, from now till maybe 2024, they're going to figure out if Disney Plus has legs besides relying on Mandalorian's viewership. See what happens then. Then if they don't have the legs to stand on with new releases, new shows, and things of that nature, new Star Wars news, if the hype isn't as good and there's still more hype around Mando, they push season 4. If they can find that they keep that viewership up, if they keep everything on the even keel, then they're going to end it with a Mando movie, possibly. This way, it wraps up the franchise and then starts that new phase of that Star Wars movies that are coming out.
Yeah, they should definitely do. I've been saying they should do a Mandalorian movie, regardless whether they end it or not. It needs a movie, at least I think. But it's
absolutely
unfortunate we got to wait 2 years in between these things to get 8 episodes that are 35 minutes long, 40 minutes, which they should be an hour, at least in my opinion.
Yeah, that's another thing I don't like about this series is the times of the running times of these episodes. It goes all over the place. Yeah. It needs to be like an hour.
I agree.
Not even that. This is the problem with Disney, man. They are so scared to pull these triggers. Like, think about this. We got the Incredicoaster way after the movie came out. They redid the Contemporary Resort way after the second Incredibles movie came out. There's no slate of Incredibles coming up. They need to put their eggs in a basket again. They used to do that. Now they don't. They're so terrified to put their eggs in a basket. And because of things like Raya, They started putting out that marketing. It didn't hop off as much as well as it is. It's like, oh, we can't do this again. Let's see if it's a hit first. Oh, it's a hit. Now we'll push it. Think about all the stuff that's going on with Frozen. Frozen is still hitting the theme parks because it's so big. But if they invest beforehand, make it as big. When Incredibles first came out, the first Incredibles movie, I was working for the Disney store back in 2005 or 6 or whatever it was. There was wall-to-wall merchandise about the Incredibles. And you know what? Just because the merchandise was on the wall, because the marketing was so big, I had to see this movie. It was good. The first Incredibles was good. It wasn't phenomenally great, but I love exactly. And maybe I love it because I was so wrapped up. I was immersed with like I said, I was already immersed with the merchandise, the marketing, and everything like that. And that's when you put your eggs in a basket. I mean, it took them so long to pop out 4 Cars movie. Now you have Cars Land. Harry Potter is rebooting the series. Smart move because Harry Potter needs that in Harry Potter world and respark all of that stuff. They still kicking it on Broadway. It's just
Cars wasn't even a good. I don't even.
It took so long to make the next car. Like to
be honest, as they went, they got
worse.
Yeah, because I didn't. The first Cars movie wasn't even that great to begin with. I don't got a sequel. I don't even know. But then the second one was that much worse. The third one was that much worse.
I like the first one a lot.
Yeah,
it was different. It was different, you know. But yeah, it did. They progressively got worse. It just kind of is what it is, I guess. It's hard to produce sequels like that, and Pixar hasn't been doing the greatest lately, anyway. So
Disney should never be in the business of doing sequels anyway with these movies. I feel like
That's not true.
Oh,
they've got
that's
to.
not true.
Very few.
Wait, let him finish because I got to hear why.
Frozen deserves sequels. They did those right. The sequels. The second one that came out was fantastic. Okay. But very rarely they come out with a sequel. Like look at all the Little Mermaid sequels. Look at all the Beauty and the Beast sequels.
Well, they just went straight to video and.
But that's the thing. But why waste time on that then? Why waste time on that? Why waste time?
Because kids bought DVDs back then.
Yeah. Well, kids are dumb.
Oh, exactly. That's what they think.
But
right now?
Create
right now.
Kids are
like,
dumb.
Isn't Disney supposed to be all about creating? I want something new. And then, like you said before, you called it. They didn't jump on Raya. I thought Raya was a good movie. I liked Raya a lot. I thought it was. I don't know why it didn't get enough of a push. So like that's my thing is I feel like they.
Sorry, there's certain ones that I want to see. I would like to see if they've done well. Like I like The Incredibles, the original. I love the superhero thing. So and it's kind of funny because they make a lot of jokes about the being the superhero life.
Like Incredibles, yeah.
I thought it was great, but I had
2 was
problem.
okay.
It was okay. I didn't have a problem with it. Wanting to see the sequel. I liked Cars enough. I wanted to see Monsters Inc. I really wanted I wanted to see a sequel to Monsters Inc. I liked Monsters University, but I really wanted that. And then if you look at say Moana, I love that movie. I really.
But don't give me but it doesn't need a sequel though. Agreed?
I'm not saying
that's why it's got the live action reboot already.
I'd rather that than a sequel. I don't want to see a sequel.
I don't think every movie needs a live action remake though.
Toy Story, the sequels on Toy Story were good. I had no problem with those sequels.
Love Toy Story, yeah.
Before got a little
Pirates
bit
of the Caribbean.
Pirates! They could have made 10 of those movies, and they almost did, and I'd still love every one of them. Yeah, obviously, if you have to have Johnny, and you got to have Bloom, and you got to have the original actors. I'm sorry.
And the Monsters Inc. universe, the Monsters Inc. I had no problem with that sequel either. But like for the most part, I'd say 75% of the sequels they make shouldn't have been made.
Well, it's true, but they have to stay relevant. They have to stay relevant. Like you said, they got to keep putting these things out because the kids grow up. Younger kids they have to keep it fresh.
Well, that's the thing. If you got lands and you got rides based on this stuff, you kind of need to keep. It's like another Avatar. They had to make. This guy's making like 10 of them now, but they got to do it because they, you got to figure they're going to keep making it, just like they're making.
They make a good, but they make a good.
Although one. I don't like the trailer of the new one. I don't care what anybody says.
I don't need Lady and the Tramp Part 2 Scamps Adventure. I don't need that. You know what I mean? Like,
you gotta let me know next time so I can hit that when you're going to say scamps. Okay.
But that's the name of the movie. We didn't need that. We didn't need Ariel's beginnings. We don't need those movies. Like that's time and effort that could. But that's time and effort that could have went to. I think that's something really good, or give me a really good sequel. Get some really good writers. Put your A-list writers on it and make a good sequel.
I think they want the B sequels, right? It's kind of like what they are.
But they're just trying to churn up for the money. It's like selling.
I get it.
Of course.
Yeah.
But here's the thing: is that like when you in Hollywood again, you have to look at an actor. Is this actor a franchise actor? Is he going to take me through an entire franchise when I hire this actor? You have to look at movie scripts that way, and Disney needs to do that. They need to say, is there franchise potential? Yes, but here's the problem. When they see franchise potential, no matter how crappy the sequel is, they still push that franchise through thinking that they've got something because we've already invested too much money. We have to keep going, and they don't know that best money's best spent. Like, look at the new Batman that was supposed to come out with the female Batman. They scrapped the entire film.
Yep.
DC,
Warner Brothers.
I don't know what happened with that. Right.
No, I thought it was that. I think it's Batwoman.
I know it was Catwoman. That got scrapped.
That's what. No, he's right. It was Catwoman.
Catwoman?
Yeah, HBO Max.
It is.
It was supposed to be
It's
HBO
in the
Max.
same universe. But yes, it was Catwoman.
So, right, whatever the case is, but they scrapped
Ruby
a
Rose was playing the role.
A whole movie. Well, you know, that's smart. They said this is not going to work. Scrap it. Disney recently did that with the Strange World, where they were pushing that hard, realized it wasn't going to do what it did, and then just put it right to Disney Plus. You know what I'm saying? And you have to take those kind of losses because you do need to put all your eggs in a basket when you truly believe in something. Another missed opportunity was Luca. Luca was a great movie.
I agree.
So underappreciated.
I want to see a sequel to Luca.
I think they came out. It came out at the same time as I believe Cruella, if I remember correctly. I like Luca better than Cruella.
I love Luca.
Luca was great.
Luca was so underrated.
It was phenomenal. So underrated, and it was very. You could tell it was under budget compared to the other ones.
Yes.
Well, marketing wise, definitely. They barely marketed it.
Right, but they definitely need to do another one. I think. I mean, if you're gonna make
now, I'll give you that. That's a movie I could see them doing a sequel to. There's enough story there. There was enough character development in the first one that there's somewhere to go with. I think in a part two. Right. I agree. I think Luca could have a part two that would do well. And
I do believe there is a very underwhelming representation of authentic Italian heritage represented when it comes to Disney, Universal, anything like that. Because I feel like they just incorporate a race with Italian heritage and don't realize that Italian heritage were immigrants and have a whole culture behind it as well. I feel like it's very unrepresented in movies.
That is what I loved about Luca.
Exactly.
Because they went to the town. It went to their basically how they function every day, the fishing.
Yes.
And then of course the espresso and like everything that they did, the pasta eating contest and all that other stuff that they did. I loved it. It was it was really good.
It brought you that fantasy feel with the mermaids and mermans and stuff like that, but still incorporated the culture of Italy. And, you know, let's face it, in Epcot, the food sucks in Italy.
Listen, that's the one thing they get. I think more than anything they get wrong completely in the parks is Italian representation of food in the parks. It's like Chef Boyardee. Some of these Italian restaurants in Disney are like basically like Chef Boyardee. I'm gonna be pointing.
Oh, I hear you. I hear you.
It's like ordering Chef Boyardee, and I'm sorry that just doesn't cut it for me. I'm sure some people out there love a good what rice-a-roni or what
spaghettoni, rigatoni, whatever.
Yeah. Beef-a-roni or whatever they call it.
You see, there's a show on Disney Plus that does do like a background, or not a background, like how they made it when they were talking about Luca, and they went through the planning stages, and then it's really interesting to check out because they show you it's crazy because they go to the town that they actually do all their photos from and get all their basically their information for all their stuff that they use for the movie. And it's funny because to see what the movie looks like from the actual town they're in, it's almost identical. I'm talking
sick.
The clotheslines. It was really neat how they did it. It was a tiny town. Really neat to see. I highly recommend, Mike. Check it out.
You know what Disney needs to do? You know what Disney needs to do? They need to get a blank check and go uptown to Manhattan. Because let me tell you, the best Italian food on the planet is where, Mike? It's in New York. They need to get a blank check, go to Rayo's uptown and say, open something down here. We'll give you a blank check. We need a fine Italian dining represented in Disney. And get whoever you have to get. Go get Rayo's, man, it's maybe the best Italian restaurant on the planet in uptown in Manhattan.
Wait, is it Napoli's? Is that the one that's in
Indianapolis? Yeah.
Their dough and pasta is actually really good. I mean, they hand make it.
It's all right.
I think it's pretty well. I think it's good just because Gene doesn't think so.
Might be honest.
Listen, I'm Italian too, so
no, I get it. But Mike, be honest.
I'll tell you what I like.
You're from Staten Island.
There's two. Okay, listen. You know, as a Toporaziano aficionado, you know, right now, I gotta say I have not tried the food in Italy like the pizza and stuff like that I will be doing on a future vlog and stuff like that. But there is also two types of Italians. There's the United States Italian, and there's a New York Italian. There is a complete difference, because in Ohio they have Italian food. If they came to Florida and tried it in Epcot, they'd probably think it was phenomenal. We have family from Italy that comes to New York, tries New York Italian food, and says it's out of this world. Now, they don't like a lot of seasonings out there, because in Italy, they typically use a lot of more fresh ingredients rather than seasoning. They don't want you putting cheese on their pasta, because that's an insult, things of that nature. So when it comes to that, we can go into that topic another day, because we have strayed far away from Star Wars and Mandalorian. So I think this may be a good moment to kind of jump into our next segment, which would be the reaction faction. But before we do that, here's a couple of words from some of our friends.
Craving your favorite theme park treats right from the comfort of your home? Introducing MainStreetTreat.com. We bring your favorite treats right to your doorstep. Visit MainStreetTreat.com today and go ahead, treat yourself.
I can see Chrissy going in the other room right now, like, yeah, Mike, you tell them, represent Italians, yeah. I'm crazy. She's so Staten Island Italian food.
Her New York accent, man.
Hold on. By the way, I do love her New York accent. Larry, you've never seen Luca.
I haven't.
Holy shit.
No, that's why I was like, well, after hearing all you guys talk about this, exactly, because I'm like, I haven't seen it.
He hates Italians. That's all it is. He hates Italians.
You know what's funny? He was quiet the whole time. Wait till the commercial, and he snuck it in. He's like, typing it in.
Well, I was getting ready to. We started talking about Italian food, and then it's kind of getting that way. Then Mike said, okay, let's get back here. And I was like, okay, I guess I'll just sneak it in right here at the end. But yeah, I mean, it sounds great. Sounds great. But I'll check it out.
I do want to shout out Main Street Treats, because they actually do have another company which will be adding their ads to our airwaves this week. They also own Fun and Fancy Freight, so they have like subscription boxes and stuff like that. So we'll be adding them to the mix as well very soon.
To the WDVC.
Yes. Yes. Yeah, that's it. So what do you used to call him? Vomit breath? What was the guy he used to call?
Vomit breath, yeah.
No, was it vomit breath? Pig breath? Pig
breath.
Oh, pig vomit.
Pig vomit.
Pig vomit.
Pig vomit. There we go.
Great movie. But speaking of movies, segue. We're gonna jump into our reaction faction, and we're gonna react to a trailer. I don't know if you guys have seen this. I saw a little sprinkle of it because I had to queue it up, but I heard about it. I'm excited to watch this because I'm just gonna let it play, and then you can tell me how you feel about it. But Gene, I don't even know if you know this is coming in. Here it comes.
I don't. Oh yeah, I haven't seen this yet. I haven't seen this one.
I haven't seen it.
Here we go.
Good. Come on, smooth out.
Oh.
I already like the art style.
Face down. Down. Oh! Let's try that again, but with ninja stars. Hey, why do we pick a fruit shaped exactly like my head? Stop talking, you're ruining my concentration.
You're fine, chill. He's gonna die.
Did you hear that? What was that? Well, nothing we can do. You guys want to grab pizza?
Can I kick it? Can I kick it? Can I kick it? What the heck are those things? They look like little Shreks to me. Oh, we've prepared our whole lives for this. Can I kick it?
Oh my, I'm gonna be sick.
Leo, what happened? Is Donnie bleeding?
It was an accident. Mikey, watch out!
So you were baby turtles who made contact with mystery goo.
Well, we prefer the term ooze, but yeah.
It's like more like, it's just nicer.
It rolls off the tongue better, yeah.
Ooze.
It's nice, right? It's ooze.
Yo, I'm ecstatic.
Sorry, Mike. I had to mute your thing because it was double audioing. So I got used to it. Yeah, because
say something.
Go ahead.
I'm chomping. I can't wait to see this. I'm excited from the Tribe Called Quest and the trailer, man. To kick it. I can't wait. And Joe, you called it before the animation style. And you know what? We finally get the original April O'Neil. We get an African American April O'Neil who originally she was an African American in the comics. Nobody. I think maybe 3% of the public knows that she was actually originally an African American character. So we get the original version of April O'Neil.
Yep. I'm
excited for this movie. I'm more excited about this than I was with the one we saw last week. I'm really excited to see this. I can't wait.
I didn't know April O'Neil was originally African American.
Yep.
Like before the cartoon series and all of that.
It was just a comic book. Yeah, they started off as a comic book, and that's how it's.
I'm excited for this. This looks great. It very much reminds me of Into the Spider-Verse. Clearly, they're going for that. They're clearly going for that type of art style and the frame rate and everything that they're running. So love it. And I love that it's animation. You can do much more with that than if you're doing CGI. I mean, CGI you can still do it, but it's just better. So I think it just still do it justice. It looks great. I mean, I'm excited.
I'm happy Michael Bay is out. I'm happy Michael Bay is out, and then I'm also happy that it's executive produced by Gene Fitzpatrick. I mean, Seth Rogen.
Yeah, no, it looks good. Yeah,
there are you.
I know Larry actually laughed during that thing. He was
that was good. No, I liked it. Yeah, it looks good. I like that gritty kind of animation style it had. That was cool. I liked it.
I mean, and that's what the original comics were. The original comics were very dark. It wasn't what we got in the 80s, the cartoon version.
But yeah, nobody wants. Yeah, they didn't want to put. They were making 80s movies and stuff. They weren't going to put some dark movie. It's just they weren't doing it.
Yeah, no, I know. This is such a throwback to the original comics, man. I really love it.
Which is great.
The original live action actually was pretty dark when it had Ralph all messed up, like in the tub. Him and Leo have that moment in that house and stuff. Whew.
And then Vanilla Ice crushed
Turtles.
What was the Vanilla Ice song again?
He was
Go Ninja, go Ninja, go.
Yeah,
right?
Yeah.
The Green Machine gonna rock the town without being seen. Have you ever seen the turtle get down? Yeah.
I don't even know. Is that really lyrics? You just make that up?
No, he just made
lyrics, baby.
No.
Really? Lyrics. Look it up.
Hang on a second.
He's got it on his iPhone right now. He's probably listening to that before the show.
No, I'm kidding. Mike honestly probably remembers. Sometimes he's got his memory is ridiculous.
When it comes to Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, I don't play. Wait. Go. I'm looking it up right now. Go.
Are you actually looking? I was actually looking it up. See, I have too much trust in Mike because I'm like, oh, he probably did it right. But no.
Turn this off here. All right.
At least he'll tell us if you did it wrong.
Stupid ads. No, I will. All right, got to talk amongst yourself while I get past these ads.
Okay. Yeah, listen, I'm excited for this. I mean, there's quite a few coming, but it was funny. I don't even know when the trailer actually had come out. I hadn't even seen it. So I'm glad I didn't. But I didn't even realize this was coming. And by the way, I didn't see at the end. I saw some names on the
saw Jackie Chan.
Yeah, there's some good names on
the little Ice Cube in there. So
now the question
I didn't catch, but
I missed it at the I missed it at the end. Who what was the launch date? Is it summer?
August 23.
Yeah, so 23.
Yeah. Not the 23rd, but August of 2023. Didn't give a date.
So
I wish we'd have to wait that. I wish this was like a May, June type release, man. I'm excited to see it. This I'll see in the theaters.
Well, Mike, have you fact checked yourself yet?
Yes, I have. Wait, so I was like looking for the video, and I'm like, I don't want to play the video because then we'll get a copyright strike and all that stuff.
Oh, I'm sure they're gonna get copyrighted just for
the it's the Green Machine gonna rock the town without being seen. Have you ever seen the turtle get down? Bam! You know, I'm telling you, I know what you said.
Yeah, you got it right.
You can't see it.
Mike, you gotta put it.
Damn, there it goes.
Ninja
right here.
Oh yeah, it's the Green Machine. You're gonna rock the town without him being seen. Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow. I got that.
Listen, not bad. You got at least the verse there, right?
Yeah.
Crazy.
Can't see me. Can't see me. God. Start with that nonsense.
Anyway, I think that just about wraps us up for another episode of the Villains Club. How do you guys feel?
I'm excited to see it, man. I can't wait.
Excited to see it. Yeah, it was good. A lot of fun tonight. I want to thank everybody for coming out. Another Disney Villains Club show in the books, and looking forward to next week. Make sure you guys subscribe to us, please, especially if you like our content. Leave comments in the video. We always respond to everything that we do. And also, I don't even know if we have an email yet. Do we have an email set up for people to send us videos if they want to? Because I know we send them to each other. just for people
I
to.
don't think we do.
We were doing that. We were doing that before. All right, listen, we're gonna set up a Gmail account or something so we can tell people, hey, if you guys come up with videos that you want us to talk about or even topics, send us stuff so we can because we come up with our topics, they just kind of pop up in the feed and we're like, this is gonna be good. But if there's anything you guys want us to touch on, you want us to talk about, or anything like that, make sure you let us know. Okay. And see you guys next week. For Gene, Larry, Mike, we'll see you next week. And more importantly, tell somebody you love them.